Hello everyone, my name is Nasiri Badi and I welcome you all to your own channel. We have our third lecture on binomial expansion. Obviously, we will work on the best examples and especially we will work today for the general term, how we can define and what are the best tricky questions for the general term. And also we will work on middle term, maybe for the odd numbers or odd powers, and also for even powers. And in the last we will have one or two tricky questions. By the way, we will start by the name of Almighty God, the most compassionate and the most merciful. The question is given, question number 1, which is question number 10 from the sequence of the second lecture. Find the coefficient of x to the power 5 and x plus 3 raised to the power 8. Now, what is the solution? In a binomial expansion like x plus y raised to the power n, when you want a general term, it is tr plus 1 is equal to ncr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. In here, what your question is, it is x plus y raised to the power 8. Now, what do you know in here? You know n is 8, and it's x plus 3. What is x? X is x. And what's y? Y is positive 3. And what is r? We don't know r. First, you have to find r. Then you are able to find the coefficient of x to the power 5. I mean tr plus 1 is equal to n is 8, c r we don't know, x to the power n is 8 minus r, y is what? Y is positive 3 raised to the power r. We don't know in here r, but one thing which is asked, it is the coefficient of x to the power 5. Now this x with this x should be same. The remaining part in here which remains, they are the coefficient for x to the power 5. I mean this x must be same. X to the power 8 minus r should be same x to the power 5. The bases are same. Now the powers must be same. 8 minus r is 5. You have to put r to the right side and 5 to the left side, then it is 3. Now you have found r equal to 3. Once again, you have to put in this formula t instead of r. It's 3 plus 1 is equal, n is 8, c, r is 3, x to the power 8 minus 3 times 3 raised to the power 3. Now t 3 plus 1, it is t4, is equal, what does it mean? It means 8 by 3 times x to the power 8 minus 3 is 5 and 3 to the power 3, it's 27. Now you have t4, you know this formula, 8 factorial, 8 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial, x to the power 5, 27. Now t4, the coefficient of x to the power 5, this term and this term, they are the coefficient for x to the power 5. I mean 8 factorial, 8 minus 3 is 5 factorial. Now 8, we have, what's the solution for this one? If you simplify, 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 8 minus 3 is 5 factorial, and 3 factorial means 3, 2, 1 times 27. Now you have 5 factorial with 5 factorial, we can cancel. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 with 6 is cancelled. t4 is 8 times 7, it is 56 times 27. Now if you multiply this term, this is the coefficient of x to the power 5. What is the multiplication for this one? It is 15, 12. 15, 12. and 1512 is the coefficient of x to the power 5. Which term is that one? It is the fourth term. If you simplify x plus 3 raised to the power 8, the first one is 8, then 7, then 6, then 5. That coefficient is this one, and that x to the power 5, it is our fourth term. I think you have got. Write it, please. Question number 11. In a minus 2b whole raised to the power 12, what is the coefficient of a to the power 5 and b to the power 7? How you can solve? First, you have to define the general term. TR plus 1 is equal to n CR x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Now, your binomial is a minus 2b raised to the power 12. In this one, what do you have? You have n is 12. You have x is a. You have y is minus 2b, and you don't have r. First, you have to find r. I mean TR plus 1 is equal n instead of n 12, c instead of r we don't have, instead of x what do you have? Instead of x it's a raised to the power 12 minus r times what is y is minus 2b raised to the power r, and this one should be equal to a to the power 5 b to the power 7. In here, first I have to simplify this one. 12 CR is equal a to the power 12 minus r. This r belongs to minus 2 and b. I mean minus 2 raised to the power r and b raised to the power r. A to the power 5, b to the power what? 7. Now what do you think? This b with this b are the same or not? Yes. Then r is 7. From b to the power r and b to the power 7, we can say that r is 7. Or from a also we can find the same value for r. A to the power 12 minus r is equal to a to the power 5. Now a are same. Now the power must be same. Then simplify this one. R is 7. Now you know r. If you know r, then you are able to find the coefficient of a to the power 5, b to the power 7. I mean t instead of r is what? 7 plus 8 is equal n 12, c r is 7, x or this one a 12 minus r is what? 7 times minus 2 raised to the power r is 7 times b raised to the power 7. You have 12 by 7. A and b, they are what? They are variable, and the coefficient is 12 by 7 with minus 2 raised to the power 7. This is a. 12 minus 7 is 5 and b 7. Now the question is also the coefficient for a to the power 5, b to the power 7. We can have 12 factorial. 12 minus 7, we have 5 factorial. Am I right, Yana? 12 minus 7, we have 5 factorial times 7 factorial, and minus to the power odd number, it's minus 2 to the power 7, it is 128. You can simplify 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 factorial by 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 times 7 factorial times 1 minus 1, 2, 8. This 7 factorial with this 7 factorial we can cancel, and what do you think? 3, 4, 12 with this one it's cancelled. 5, 2 it's 10 with this 10 is cancelled. 9 times 8 it is 56. Oh no, 72. 72 times 11. 72 times 11 it is 792. I think, times minus 128. Now 72 times 11. 1 times 2, 2 with 7 it's 9. 1 times 7 it is 7. 792. Now you can multiply these two terms. What's the answer? The answer would be minus 101376. Minus 101376. This is the correct answer. Write it, please. Question number 12. Find the general term for the expansion of x squared minus y raised to the power 6. How you can solve this question? First, one thing you know, that's what? If we define x plus y raised to the power n, the general term for this one is t r plus 1 is equal to the general term for the x plus y raised to the power what? N is n cr x to the power n minus r times y raised to the power r. And in this one, r is equal or smaller than n and greater equal to 0. And n with r, they are what? They are integer, positive integer. In here we have x squared minus y raised to the power 6. Now what do you know? N is 6, x is x squared, and y is minus y. Then you can put the value tr plus 1 is, instead of n, 6, c r is not given for every term that we want, x is x squared raised to the power 6 minus r, y is minus y raised to the power r. Then you have tr plus 1 is equal 6 cr x 2 multiplied with these two terms, 2 times 6 12 minus 2 times r 2r, and this y is y raised to the power r and minus 1 raised to the power r. This is the general term for the expansion of x squared minus y raised to the power 6. Write it. Find the general term, question number 13. For this expansion, it's the same like the previous question. I mean, if you want to find the general term for x plus y raised to the power n, it is what? It is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Now your question is x squared minus y x raised to the power 12, and the condition is that x should not be 0. Why? Because if x is 0 and here is 0, 0 minus 0, then this is 0. 0 is not a binomial. 0 raised to the power 12, it is not a binomial. But if you have 1 to the power 12, 3 to the power 12, whatever you have, it's a binomial. Why? Because instead of 1, you can write 0.1 plus 0.9 raised to the power 12. Am I right? I think you've got. By the way, x must not be 0. Now in here you have what? You have n is 12, n is 12. Okay, n is 12, x is x squared, y is minus yx. Now you have tr plus 1 is equal, instead of n 12, c, instead of r you don't have, and instead of x squared raised to the power n minus r, 12 minus r times y minus yx raised to the power r. Now you can simplify this one. tr plus 1 is equal to 12cr times x, this 2 is multiplied with the power x, 2 times 12 it is 24 minus 2r times this r belongs to minus, belongs to y, and then belongs to x, belongs to negative, this y and this x. I mean minus 1 raised to the power r, and y raised to the power r, x raised to the power r. Am I right? Yes. Then tr plus 1 is equal 12 cr. This one with this one, the bases are same, the powers are added, 24 minus 2r plus r times y raised to the power r times minus 1 raised to the power r. tr plus 1 is 12 cr times x, 24 minus 2r plus r, it's minus r, and y raised to the power r minus 1 raised to the power r. This is the general term for the question number 13. Write it please. Question number 14. Find the fourth term in expansion of x minus 2y whole raised to the power 12. Whenever you want to define a general term in an expansion of x plus y raised to the power n, the general term is tr plus 1 is equal to n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Now what your binomial is, it's x minus 2y whole raised to the power 12. In here what do you have? N is 12 first, x is x, this is x, y is minus 2y. We don't have r. In order to find r, what the question is? T4, fourth term. Now what is T4? T4 is tr plus 1. From this one you can find r. I mean this index with this index should be equal. R plus 1 is 4, r is what? 3. Am I right? Yes. Now put in this equation t instead of r, 3 plus 1 is equal to n is 12, c, r is what? 3, x is x, 12 minus 3, y is minus 2y raised to the power r. What r is? R is 3. Now this is T4. T3 plus 1 is T4. This one means 12 by 3, and this one is x, 12 minus 3, it's what? 9, and minus raised to the power odd number, it's minus 2 raised to the power 3, it's 8, 8y cubed. Now you have T4. This one means 12 factorial, 12 minus 3, 9 factorial times 3 factorial, x to the power 9 minus 8y cubed. T4 is equal to, now if you simplify this one, you will find the answer minus 1760 x to the power 9 y cubed. I'm sure you can simplify this term. 12 should be expanded up to 9 factorial, and this 3 factorial means 3 to 1, and you can cancel the terms which are cancelable. Write it please. Question number 15. 3 minus x to the power 3 divided by x whole raised to the power 7. Find the middle term. Whenever you want to talk about middle term in a binomial of x plus y raised to the power n, there are two options. First, if n is odd number, on that occasion you have two middle terms. The first one is tn plus 1 by 2, and the next one is tn plus 3 by 2. These two are the middle terms for odd numbers of this binomial. If n is even, on that occasion we have one middle term, and that is n by 2 plus 1. Now what do you think? In your binomial 3 minus x cubed by 6 raised to the power 7, in here what do you have? First, x is first you have to talk about n. N is 7, x is 3, y is minus x cubed by 6. Now you don't have r, but you know that this 7 is odd number. It means there are two middle terms. First middle term is tn plus 1 divided by 2. Now what do you think? N is what? 7. Then 7 plus 1, 8. 8 divided by 2, 4. T4 is the middle term. Next middle term we have what? T instead of N. Instead of N, you have to put 7 plus 3. I mean Tn plus 3 divided by 2. Now 7 plus 3, it's 10. 10 divided by 2, 5. Then T5. T5 and T4, they are the middle terms. If T4 and T5 are the middle terms, what is R? T4 is TR plus 1. Now R plus 1 is 4. R is what? 3. Am I right? Yes. Put this one in general term of a binomial expansion. What is the general term of a binomial expansion? It is TR plus 1 is NCR x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Then T instead of r you have to put 3. 3 plus 1 is equal, n is what? N is 7. C, r is what? 3. X is 3. And instead of n, 7 minus instead of r, 3. Y is minus x cubed by 6. This is y. Raised to the power r is 3. Now you can simplify T. 3 plus 1, it's 4. 7 by 3. And this one is 3. 7 minus 3, it's 4. Am I right? Yes. And minus to the power 3, it's minus. X cubed times 3, it's x to the power 9. And 6 raised to the power 3, it is 216. 216. Now you can simplify. T4 is 7 by 3, it is 7 factorial. 7 minus 3 is 4 factorial times 3 factorial. 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4. It's what? 81, I think. 81 times minus x raised to the power 9 by 260. Now if you want to simplify, T4 is 7 factorial. You can simplify this one up to 4. 7, 6, 5 and 4 factorial. Correct? Yes. 4 factorial. 3 factorial means 3, 2, 1 times 81 times minus x to the power 9, 200 by 16. This one can be cancelled. This one with this one. Now 7 times 5, it is 35 times 81 times minus x by x raised to the power 9 divided by 260. If you simplify this one, now what the answer would be? The answer would be minus 105 divided by 8. Minus 105 divided by 8 x to the power 9. After cancellation, you will find this answer. It is what? It is T4. Now, how you can simplify? It's your work. T5. T5 is your homework. You have to find this one. And we have two middle terms. First one is T4 and the next one is T5. I think you have got. Write it, please. Question number 60. X divided by 3 plus 9y raised to the power 10. Find middle term. Now, what do you think? N is even number or odd number? I think it is even. Of course, do not think. N is 10. It's even number. If this one is even number, now what the middle term is? Middle term is T n by 2 plus 1. I mean T instead of n, 10. 10 divided by 2, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. Indeed, they have asked the sixth term or T6. Whenever you want to find the sixth term in a binomial expansion, first the question is x by 3 plus 9y raised to the power 10. In here, what do you have? X is x by 3, y is 9y, and n is 10. We don't have r. Tr plus 1 is ncr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. This tr plus 1 is equal to t6. Now it means r plus 1 should be 6, r is 5. Put this r in this general term. You have t instead of r 5 plus 1, instead of n 10, c instead of r you have what? 5, instead of x by 3 raised to the power n minus r. 10 minus 5 is 5 times y instead of y 9y, 9y raised to the power r. What r is? 5. Now you can simplify. T 5 plus 1 is 6, 10 by 5. This one means x to the power 5, 3 raised to the power 5, and this is 3 square. 3 square. When you want to multiply square with this one, so you will have 3 raised to the power 10 and y raised to the power 5. Am I right? Yes. We can cancel 5 of this with this one. So you have t6 is, this one means 10 factorial, 10 minus 5, 5 factorial times 5 factorial, and you have x to the power 5, 3 to the power 5, y to the power 5. Now you have t6, 10 factorial, 10, 9, we have 8, 7, 6, and 5 factorial. This 5 factorial, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have 5 factorial, x to the power 5, 3 to the power 5, y raised to the power 5. 5 factorial with this 5 factorial can be cancelled. And what do you think? 2 times 5, it's 10. 10 with this 10, it would be cancelled. And we have 3 with this one. 2 times 3 is 6, and we have 1, 4, 2. Now t6 is 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 7, we have 28, 28 times 9, 9 times 28, times 3 to the power 5, it is 243, 243, x to the power 5, y raised to the power 5. Now you can simplify this one. If you want to multiply, you will have the answer 61236. t6 is 61236, x to the power 5, y raised to the power 5. This is the middle term for the x divided by 3 plus 9y raised to the power 10. Question number 17. 1 plus a raised to the power m plus n prove that the coefficients of a raised to the power n and a raised to the power n are equal. How you can simplify? First, if we want to talk about the expansion of 1 plus a raised to the power m plus n, what is the general formula for this one? It is m plus n c0 1 raised to the power m plus n. Am I right? I want to say, if we want to talk about x plus y raised to the power n, so it is n c0 x to the power n. Then the next term is n c1 x to the power n minus 1 y raised to the power 1, n c2 x to the power n minus 2 y square, up to n cn x get 0, and the next y raised to the power n. This is the expansion for this binomial. Now your binomial n is m plus n, c0 c0. The first term should be raised to the power what the number of the power is, m plus n. But 1 raised to every power, it means 1. Then do not write it. Plus, this is plus. N is m plus n. C 1. The first term should be what? We have to decrease the power by one number, but the first term is 1. Then do not write 1. you have to neglect. Why? Because for simplification, the next term is raised to the power 1. Now what the next term is? A raised to the power 1. I think you have got. Now what the third term is? M plus n c2a square, like this one, up to m plus n c m plus n times a raised to the power m plus n. Am I right? Yes. Now what is the question? The question is the coefficient of a to the power m and a to the power n, are they equal or not? Prove this one. Okay, now what the coefficient of a raised to the power m is? The coefficient for this one, what the coefficient of a to the power n, a to the power 1 is? It's m plus n c1. What the coefficient of a square is? M plus n c2. What the coefficient of a to the power 3 is? M plus n c3. What the coefficient of a to the power 10 is? M plus n c10. Am I right or not? Yes. Then you can say what the coefficient of a to the power m is? It is m plus n c m. This is the coefficient for a to the power m. Why? In here, a to the power 1, m plus n c1, a to the power 2, m plus n c2, a to the power 3, m plus n c3, a to the power 4, m plus n c4, a to the power 10, m plus n c10, a to the power 20, m plus n c20, a to the power m plus n cm. Now, what this one means? It means m plus n factorial divided by n minus r, m plus n minus m factorial times m factorial. If you simplify this one is m plus n factorial divided by, you can cancel this one, n factorial times m factorial. This is the coefficient for a to the power m. What the coefficient of a to the power n is? It is like this one, m plus n cn. Why? N is a number. If we want to talk, for example, this is the coefficient of a to the power 10, m plus n c 10. If this one is a to the power 12, then m plus n c 12, according to this equation. Now you can simplify this one. It is m plus n factorial divided by this minus this, m plus n minus n factorial times n factorial. You can cancel this one, so you will have m plus n factorial divided by m factorial times n factorial. Now look, you can compare what the coefficient of a to the power m is, m plus n factorial time divided by n factorial multiplied by m factorial. What the coefficient of a to the power n is, m plus n factorial, m factorial, n factorial. The nominator are same, denominators are also same. Then we can say that we have proved that in this binomial expansion, the coefficient of a to the power m and a to the power n are equal. We can say it is proved. Write it, please. Question number 18. The coefficients of the r minus 1 r term and r plus 1 terms, they are in this expansion, in this binomial expansion, is in this ratio. Now find both r and n. We have a tricky question. Okay, how you can simplify? First, you have to know what this one means. It means x plus 1 raised to the power n. According to binomial expansion, we have n c0 x to the power n, the first term. What the second term is? n what? nc1 x to the power n minus 1, and increase the second term. It's 1, do not write 1. Why? Because 1 doesn't mean doesn't have any meaning in multiplication. So plus nc2 x to the power n minus 2. The next one is nc3 x to the power n minus 3. The next one is nc4 x to the power n minus 4, like this one. You can simplify. Now what the coefficients are asked are minus 1 term, or minus 1 term, this term first. What r minus 1 term coefficient is? R minus 1 term, it means one of these terms. What do I mean? What is the first term? First term is nc0 coefficient. What's the second term? Second term is the coefficient is nc1. What the next term? The third term coefficient is nc2. Fourth is nc3. Fifth is nc4. 10 is nc9. 20 is nc19. 50 is nc49. R term is nc r minus 1. R term. Why? Because if we talk about fifth term, you have 4. If we talk about 10, you have 9. If we talk about r, it is r minus 1. If you talk about r minus 1, then this is r minus 1 minus 1. It's r minus 2. Then the r minus 1 term coefficient is what? Is ncr minus 2. Am I right? Yes. Now whenever you're talking about r term, what the coefficient is? It is nc r minus 1. Why? In second we have 1, and third we have 2, and fourth we have 3, and fifth we have 4, and 10 we have 9, and 20 we have 19, and r we have r minus 1. What the r plus 1 term coefficient is? It is nc. This from r plus 1 you have to decrease 1 more, so you have r plus 1 minus 1. 1 with 1 is cancelled, we have ncr. Am I right? Yes. The coefficient of this one is ncr minus 2. The coefficient of this one is ncr minus 1. And the coefficient of r plus 1 term, this is ncr. Now it is asked, these coefficients are in the ratio of 1 divided by 3 divided by 5. What does it mean? It means if we talk about these coefficients, which are ncr minus 2, ncr, and ncr minus 1, sorry, ncr, these ratio are in 1 by 3 by 5. It means the division of this one is the division of this one. It's equal. The division of these two terms is equal to the division of 3 with 5. I want to say that ncr minus 2 divided by second term ncr minus 1 is equal to 1 divided by 3. This is your first equation. Your second equation, the division of these two terms, ncr minus 1 divided by ncr, it is equal to 3 divided by 5. Have you got? Yes. Now simplify these two and find n and r. The first one, if we want to talk, the first one, this one means n bar by r minus 2 divided by n r minus 1 is 1 divided by 3. Am I right? Yes. If you simplify this one, it is n factorial divided by this minus this, n minus r minus 2, with this minus it's plus 2 factorial times this factorial divided by, this is division, n factorial, this minus this, n minus r minus 1, we have 1 minus here, it's plus 1 factorial, times this factorial, r minus 1 factorial is equal to 1 divided by 3. We can cancel this one. Now put this one in denominator. You will have n minus r plus 1 factorial times r minus 1 factorial divided by this one comes to denominator is equal to 1 divided by 3. Now you can simplify this equation. I have to what? I have to expand this one up to r plus 1, and I have to expand r minus 1 up to r minus 2. I mean n minus r plus 1 factorial times r minus 1 r minus 2 factorial. What factorial is? The multiplication of first term with the other terms which is decreased by 1. From r minus 1 you have to decrease 1, we have r minus 2. Now in here we have the multiplication of first term. In other terms you have to decrease one term, one number, n minus r from plus 2. If you decrease 1 you have plus 1 factorial times r minus 2 factorial is equal to 1 divided by 3. This one is cancelled, this one is also cancelled, and this 3 multiplied with this term, we have 3r minus 3, and 1 with this one, n minus r plus 2. Now simplify this one for the variable 3r. This minus r comes here, it's 4r, and put plus n to the left side, it's minus n, and 3 to the other side, we have 5. This is our first equation. Am I right or not? Yes. Now make another equation from this one. Can you? Yes, of course. Should I erase this side? Yes. Okay. The second equation is this one. It is n by r minus 1 divided by n by r is equal to 3 divided by 5. Now you can simplify n factorial, this minus this, n minus r minus 1, it's r plus 1 factorial, times r factorial, this is r minus 1 factorial, divided by n by r, we have n factorial, n minus r factorial times r factorial is equal to 3 by 5. This is cancelled. Now put here, put this one to the denominator. You have n minus r factorial times r factorial divided by n minus r plus 1 factorial times r minus 1 factorial is equal to 3 by 5. Now how you can simplify this one? I have to expand this one up to n minus r and expand this one to r minus 1. So you will have what? N minus r factorial times r factorial is r, and other term you have to decrease 1, divided by this one, n minus r plus 1. What's the other term? N minus r. From plus 1 you have to decrease one term, which is minus 1, and plus 1 with minus 1 is cancelled. Then you have n minus r factorial times r minus 1 factorial is equal to 3 by 5. You can cancel this one and cancel this one. Then you can 5 with this one, it's 5r, cross multiplication. 3 with this one, 3n minus 3r plus 3. Now solve it for r, for n and r. 3 put here, it's 8r minus 3n is equal to 3. This is our second equation. The first equation is 4r minus n is equal to 5, and the second equation is 8r minus 3n is equal to 3. Now you can find r and n. Why? Because you have two variable equation. Which variable I have to delete? N. It's easy. Why? Coefficient is smaller. Now multiply the first equation with 3. Multiply the second equation with this n. It's 1. Now 3 times 4 is 12. R minus 3n is 15. And 1 times this one, 8r minus 3n is equal to 3. You have to subtract these two equations. It's minus, it's plus, it's minus. Why? Because 3n with 3n is cancelled, and 12 minus 8, it is 4r. 15 minus 3, it is 12. Divide both sides by 4, so you will have r is what? 3. R is 3. Now if r is 3, now what n is? Put this r in the first equation. It would be easy. 4r minus n is equal to 5, our first equation. Instead of r, 3. 4 times 3 minus n is equal to 5. 4 times 3, 12, minus n is equal to 5 minus n. 12 put to the right side. 5 minus 12, it is minus 7. Minus with minus is cancelled, n is 7. Then n is 7 and r is 3. If we put instead of n 7 and we find the r minus 1, it means 3 minus 1, it means second term, and third term, 3 plus 1, and fourth term, the second, third and fourth term, the coefficients are with the ratio of 1 by 3 by 5. I think you have got. Write it. What do I mean? Listen. I mean the solution is finished, but you have to get the point of view. What do I mean? I mean that in this binomial x plus 1 raised to the power n, if you put x plus 1 instead of n, 7. Now what the expansion of this one is? X to the power 7 plus 7x cubed plus 6 times this one divided by 2. 6 times this one is 42. 42 divided by 2, it's 21. X by 5. The next one is 5 with 21. I think it is 105 by 3. 105 by 3, it's 35. X by 4. 4 times this one, it is 100 what? 140 by 4. 140 divided by 4, we have I think 35. X cubed plus what the next term is? The next term is 3 times this one, 105. How many times do we have? 1, second, third, 4, 5 divided by 5, it is 21. X square plus 7x plus 1. This is the expansion of what? This is the expansion of the x plus 1 raised to the power 7. Now what r is? It's 3. If you find r minus 1 term, it means 3 minus 1, I mean second term. R term, which is what? Third term. And r plus 1 term, which is 3 plus 1, fourth term. They are in the ratio of 1 divided by 3 divided by 5. The second term, this is our second term. This is our third term. And this is our fourth term. Now, what the coefficient is? 7, 21, and 35. Are they in the ratio of 1 3 by 5? Yes. Why? Because if you divide all sides by 7, so you have 1, you have 21 by 7, it's 3, and 35 by 7, it is 5. Now I'm sure that you have got the point of view or the goal of the question. By the way, it was this lecture on binomial expansion. Inshallah, we will come for the next lecture, which is the 4th lecture of binomial expansion, with the great examples on binomial expansion. Allah Hafiz.